Hello, bitches of the internet. How y'all doing? All right, here's the inside scoop, and I mean the real scoop, not the crappy half-hour scoop that you get from MTV News or some crap like that. Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast of awesomeness that is Spandex motherfucking cast. With me today are Loden, otherwise known as the Raging Phoenix. Dramatic name, I know, my god. Ugh, bloody hell, what the hell made you pick that crude nickname anyway?
Well, hello everyone.
Oh, bless. And with us today is a lovely guest answering to the name of Timmy, Tim Bob, Timaroo,
And Thunder.
and that.
Oh, yo, what's up?
Huzzah, bitches. And as you can obviously tell, this motherfucker here is a fellow Brit. Oh, life is good. I get a fellow Brit on this fucking podcast.
Hailing from Northwood.
Motherfucker, yeah. Alright. Alright, bitches. Here's the inside scoop. We're going to talk about some awesome shit. Some not so awesome shit. Oh, and for the record, Matt, unfortunately, bless his little cotton socks, is not here because he's busy at work with the legal... What the hell? Wait, well, hang on. What the hell does Matt actually do for a living anyway?
He works in the library.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. It's a rather new job.
Wait, he's got a new job?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
one of the reasons that this podcast is now a week late.
Okay, note to self, blame Matt. That is now the protocol.
You weren't here last week either.
Ooh, someone got called out.
Shut up! I'm awesome. That's my answer. I'm sticking to it. But yeah, we're gonna go. But yeah, for this little shindig, we're gonna be talking about so much random crap, and along with some PR Sentai mumbo jumbo here and there. So, Reg, how are you today, by the way?
Quite good actually. Yeah, let's first dig into the Power Ranger news, I guess.
I know.
There's,
He is straight to business.
yeah. I
The
mean,
man has no sense
well,
of-
we could talk about Thunder first. I mean, can we find you? Why do you watch Power Rangers? Stuff like that.
Oh, Timmy, go! Let the audience know who the fuck you are. And if you feel the need to laugh at my antics right about now, go for it. I'm actually drinking quite a bit of coffee right now.
Alright, so I'm Thunder, Tim. You know, Simon has said my name roughly 1,000 times in the span of 30 seconds. Anyway,
What the-
let's see. I've been on Ranger Vision since it was Ranger Talk. I was there, and then it got all glitchy because it changed its name like 20 times, so I left the website. And then I came back once I found out that it was owned by Kage. And let's see, I watched PR. I grew up with PR. I mean, I grew up because I actually lived in America, so the first one I actually was exposed to was MMPR, and then not again until Time Force and Wild Force. And then come 2006 or 7, I fell back in love with it, and here I am now.
Well, good. So
Awesome.
Simon, I guess we go on to the news now then, for real.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Right, Reg, you do the news. I'll do the quipping in between.
That's fine. Since last time we spoke, there's actually been some new pictures around from
Go Kaja, bitches!
Well, yeah, that.
Sorry, I couldn't hold it in. I could not hold it in. I could not hold it in. I
Yeah.
could not.
To explain this all to everyone, last week we basically spoke about how there were some boots shown from Gokaiger, and people were like, "Well, we're not sure it's Gokaiger and stuff like that." Well, now there's pictures of that it's actually going to be Gokaiger in Super Mega Force, and I think it's
Gokaiger,
even said that it's going to be the power up for the Mega Force Rangers. So
No.
yeah, what do you guys think about that?
No.
To anyone who has been saying, like, oh my god, go Kaija, boot! Oh my god, Saban's gonna finally do it. Let me ingest a little bit of reality. Yeah, that got announced, the fact that Gokaiger was getting adapted like fucking whilst Megaforce was getting fucking announced.
Yeah, that's true, but the thing was that they didn't know how they were gonna, put it in.
Okay.
Some people were like, well, maybe they'd just make it like a separate team of legendary rangers from the past who come back as Gokaiger and use the keys to change into others or something like that. And now it's announced that it's really just a power up for the Megaforce Rangers.
Really?
Yeah, and well, you might say like, well, does it really fit that well? The angels from Ghost Sager with the pirates of Gokaiger. Well, let's face it, we're not really seeing angels right now in the whole Megaforce part. So
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
kind of just like, dude, we're teenagers. We're happy. We're normal.
No teenagers are
Huzzah.
happy. No teenagers.
Exactly.
Apart from in Megaforce. No, but
I
seriously, it's just like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, where the whole theme and everything had nothing at all to do with the
actual
season
fucking
itself,
thing.
with what
Well,
the Gits were doing.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was an entirely different case. First of all, it was the premiere of a new show. Second
True.
of all, they did keep the dinosaur theme in relative with the whole old times and Zordon being an ancient sage. They really kept the ancient theme. It was not a dinosaur theme, it was more of an old time theme.
Well, that was the only thing though that was mentioned, that they were from ancient times, and I think even Rita Repulsa wasn't even locked up that long, was it? I think she.
Oh no, not at all. Just about 10,000 years. That's
Yeah,
not a
but
long time.
10,000 years ago there weren't dinosaurs.
Good point. Well, maybe not in this
Ah,
galaxy. On Eltar, there could still be dinosaurs today.
Yeah, and
We
to be
don't.
fair, I mean there were Ice Age things in there.
and there is that wonderful little thing that is magic.
This is all true, but
Can you,
but
can
the
you throw
thing
in
is with
some like
Megaforce,
sparkly effects?
I mean it still works well. I do like the show, and it works well even though they don't do anything with the theme at all. So
Oh. Let's save that for Megaforce because I have a pretty long rant. Um, but anyway, I think the whole issue is that in MMPR, the reason why they were so goody good is because they were all martial artists or trained in some sort of craft. I mean, Billy could have had Asperger's for all we knew. Zach was a dancer slash martial artist. Trini and Jason were professional martial artists, and Kimberly was a gymnast, which means they had to have insane discipline beforehand. Hence why they were all goody goods, because they had trained themselves in discipline to the point of Olympic proficiency. I mean, Jason was an instructor. Kimberly was ready to go to the Olympics. I mean, these guys were very high level. Hence why they had that level of discipline. With Megaforce, it does not work. I mean, you have a girl who runs around the forest singing crappy songs to flowers, and they magically grow.
Oh god.
The only one I can excuse the discipline for is Troy, because he's overcome some sort of hardship, which we will never know, and he's a martial artist.
Okay. On that note of the singing to the flowers, what the hell?
well, you heard it last time.
I know. Please don't remind me. Matt blasted it into my ears solidly for about 10
Princess-
minutes.
Princess Shayla's long lost daughter, I have finally
my-
found her.
Oh God.
It's
Anyway, on with the new. There was also a picture of the what do you call it? Lost Galaxy Rangers
Oh.
appearing. Um, Someone actually asked whether Damon was in the picture. I think it was Matt actually. To be honest, I think it's just the stunt actors, but still, I mean, well, we know at least the suits are in there.
yep.
How is Sierra Hannah not fired? I mean, she's the one posting all of these pictures, and I'm just a band's like, oh crap.
Well,
What the-
to be fair, like you said, they knew we knew Go Kaiger was going to be in there. We knew Go Kaiger was all about old seasons, so we see like a bunch of stunt actors around a monster, so we're like, well, you could have seen this all coming. That because Go Kaiger is all about those old seasons. We will see them back.
Let me tell you my original idea, which I think would have fit a lot better with the anniversary season. What I honestly think they should have done was a whole Go Busters and Akiba Ranger thing. Have Go Sager, sorry, be a season, but not an official season. Have it. What I actually planned for them to do was to have 4 movies. See, because there were 4 arcs, villain arcs in Ghost Ager, so have 4 2-hour length movies. Hence, they will be able to fill the 2 movie requirements for each season. They could have 2 seasons, and they could get caught up. You understand? So 4 Ghost Ager movies, and
Yeah,
have
but
it.
the thing is, it's very hard to sell 2 hours.
I mean, they don't even need to sell it 2 hours. They could break it up and divide it, use it to
Yeah, but
fill
then
up
you need
episode caps.
well, basically what they did now is that you've got 20 episodes, so that's almost 4
And they
movies.
have two, but the issue is that they have two movie requirements. This would have helped them instead of giving us crappy half-assed movies to give us 100% of a full-hearted movie.
Yeah, maybe.
To be fair, expecting class and style from Saban is like expecting Matt to be intelligent, non-existent, barely gonna be there. Sorry, Matt. I know you're not here, but we love you nonetheless. I just love to insult you even more than that.
Yeah, anyway, there was also some news about Kyoryuja, though not much. We saw some pictures from, I think it was the Kyoryu Gold again,
Yeah.
which is, well, basically we've seen pretty much all of how he looks like and his mecha and stuff, but yeah, basically not a lot of news on that front. So let's continue on to the episode discussion, I guess. Starting with the Megaforce one, we've only seen one. The new episode is supposed to be out today, but we obviously can't discuss it yet because we haven't seen it yet. By the time you hear this, probably it has been aired, so forgive us for that.
Well, we'll probably do like a 2.5 or 1.5 thing of in between this kind of shit. Obviously, this will not be in this very same podcast. It'll be a mini cast.
No.
Oh, but I like my idea.
Anyway, what did you guys? Well, I guess Simon didn't see it, but what did you guys think of the latest episode, which was episode 7?
I actually enjoyed the episode. I mean, compared to the rest of the episodes, which were horrible and atrocious, and last episode with Emma singing, it's sort of like it's sort of like after you get off a drug and you know you've crashed. The drastic difference between crashing and getting back to that first high. That's the difference between these two episodes, which makes it seem so much better than it actually is.
Yeah, I must admit that I did really like the episode. I had a few issues with it though. I mean, first of all, and this is nitpicking, they called it the Ultra Gosei Megazord.
It said Mega on the cards. I'm like, the card says something different. Stop doing that. Have the card say the same thing. Or even better, Saban, you have millions of dollars. Repaint the bloody cards. All you need to do is have one image. You can change the image. You don't even need to have it animated.
Or better yet, the brilliant thing is Photoshop.
Well,
God
the thing is, I
forbid.
don't think that during Goseiger, Toei knew that that was going to be sold to be adapted because at that time Power Rangers were dead.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
No, at that time, I think Samurai was going on during Goseiger.
I think Samurai. No, no, because they're 2 seasons behind. So I think they were dead at that time.
No, we are 2 seasons behind because Samurai's dragged on for an extra year.
Oh right. I don't know then, but the thing is, I have the feeling that Goseiger just wasn't made to be adapted.
Because, okay, if you think about Ghost Age, like, with the whole angels coming down and all that kind of thing, and, you know, that would be kind of difficult to do. And, okay, obviously you'll probably get a Sentai snob here and there being all like, oh, no, that's not what happened in the Sentai.
No.
It's like, dude, get the fuck over it. It's I'm sorry, but it's adapting it to a Western audience.
Well,
Sometimes
that's all true, but I think that at times, you know, when Saban was working close and Disney too was working close together with Toei, they actually, you know, they had some extra footage shot with the same suits and stuff like that while Toei was shooting the footage, so that, you know, it was easier to adapt. So yeah,
So
I think
Soccer
they didn't do
moms.
that with Goseiger.
Soccer moms. Sorry. I have this weird theory that soccer moms control TV, and most of the time it is true.
you know,
So
if he
who?
turns out to be right, I'd like to say fucking called it.
Let me elaborate. Whenever we say children can understand these concepts, when I was a child, I understood very advanced concepts, especially from TV, and
Yes,
most
you're
children
very
now,
smart.
yeah, but most of the children too, they understand these concepts. We're just babying it down because they can't, or even worse, their mothers who are meant to be taking care of them, they're like the media's poisoning our children. We don't want our children to be violent. Power Rangers should be less violent. It's like tell your children that this is a bloody TV show. If they go out and fight someone, they're gonna get beat up. That's what my parents told me. If you go out and fight, you're gonna get hurt. These guys have powers and they aren't real.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do to tell your children. So these mothers, they're busy lobbying the media and letting the media raise their children because they can't do it themselves. So they end up saying TV's so bad, and then we end up getting crappy TV because they can't control their own damn children.
Yeah, it's a bit like with games. I mean, they say like, "Oh, that game is too violent," but then at the same time, on the game it says it's for 18 years or older, and it's like, well, then just don't buy it for your kid.
Exactly. Don't you need an ID to buy that crap in America anyway?
Well, I don't know. Here in the Netherlands, well, the thing is though, you can still buy it. You know, the thing. I think the main issue is that parents like, well, that is just stupid anyway, so I'm gonna buy it for my kid. I actually knew like a 4-year-old that was playing GTA 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Face palm. I feel like openly face palming.
Yeah, that's just not good.
Why?
Anyway, but the thing I was getting at with the name was like I guess that this thing is supposed to be an Ultra Zord. Why is it called an Ultra Gosei Megazord? They never, when it's Ultra, it's not
Shit.
Mega.
I got that pun. That was a crappy pun, Dennis.
Jeez. No, it's just that I feel like they kind of went away from the naming that they usually do, which is weird.
Who cares? It's a mega season with mega Zords and mega toys. And next, we're gonna get a super mega season with super mega toys. More like super crappy. But
I'm
anyway,
actually loving this right now.
Anyway, what I also found stupid was in Go Sager, you obviously have this TV guy who changes into some kind of backpack for the Megazord, so that
oh,
all
you
the
mean
heads come up.
Datus? I love Datus. He
Yeah.
was actually. Why didn't they just use that? I mean, they have plenty of stock footage from him. They could have actually used him as Tensor instead of spending money on CGI because they're like, CGI is so expensive. Use that money to repaint the cars and just use Datus. Saves you so much money.
I am starting to like Datus now, though.
Well, the thing was though,
He's actually
they
not
didn't show
annoying
Datus
as
at all.
much.
It was just like, well, we're gonna make the Ultra Gosei Megazord now, and suddenly he has these beams from his shoulders that allow heads to be mounted on it, and it's like, where the hell did that come from?
I guess they just describe him as an extra armament. I guess it's just like, in order for this part to be hooked up, you just need this part. What is this part? Doesn't it look important? No, no. It's just a spare part we just put on. It's a piece of crap. It's a piece of crap. We're just... And Turd, it's like, Saban is like, will this make me money? Do it, do it, do it. Will this make me spend money? Don't do it. You guys have all seen Catherine Sutherland's impression.
I didn't actually see
Yep.
the toys. Did they actually make a Datus toy then for...
Yeah, they
Probably
have
not.
plenty. They have plenty of Datus toys in Japan.
Yeah, no, in Japan, but do they in America? I mean, they need something to make this
Why
new.
would they make a Datus toy if it's not going to be in the show?
But the thing is, it still has this... It still combines with the Megazord, though. For the Ultra Gosei Megazord that we've just seen. I mean, where do those shoulder things come from?
They come from magic.
Well, yeah, it is completely unexplained in the show, but is there a toy for it? I mean, they need something to create
It's probably
that
gonna.
sword.
It's probably gonna just be stuck to the Megazord. They're probably gonna have it all be a separate toy and have the headers come off, and it'll be just like it's stuck. So if you remove it, you end up breaking it.
It seems stupid. To be fair, the whole heads thing, it's stupid anyway. I hate it. Anyway, yeah. Let's go on to Kyoryuja, where we've got 2 episodes out since last time,
Woo!
Woohoo!
and they're both with a very crappy speaking Japanese, Japanese speaking American.
Yay! It's a fat man.
Yeah, that was cool. Actually, his suit was fat as well.
It's funny because he's fat.
The thing was,
Fat people
though,
are just funny, though.
he acted so badly.
What his acting was bad. Isn't he some sort of like super veteran actor?
I don't know, but the thing was, it looked like, it sounded like he didn't know Japanese, so it kind of looked like he was trying to memorize all the sounds he was supposed to make for speaking Japanese, which he didn't know what he was saying. He was just making the sounds, and at the same time he tried to act with his face. It seemed very disconnected.
How
I
bad was
found
his
it-
Japanese?
Well, it was just I don't know. It's the thing is, you even as someone who doesn't speak Japanese, you could hear that he had an accent.
Oh,
The whole
God.
thing. How do you know Japanese is bad if you don't speak Japanese, or was it
Yeah,
that
that's the
horrible?
thing. It was so bad that you could hear it as a non-Japanese speaker that wasn't Japanese. It was
Give,
like I said. It sounded like he was just making the sounds that they taught him.
give me a second to openly facepalm. Why do you have the Baldwin name if you cannot act? All the Baldwins can act.
I like Baldwin.
Was he a Baldwin? I didn't know.
His name
Yep.
is Robert Baldwin.
Oh wow! I actually also heard that he was in like a number. I mean, at least in another series from Toku, where he also played, and he was also speaking Japanese, I guess, if he's in a Japanese show. I don't know what actually happened, but it didn't seem very good.
Then again, they could be over as Japanese with an actual Japanese actor to make it seem like shit.
Well, the thing was, I actually think that this season is a bit about, different languages and stuff, because he was very much about, throwing some English terms in there every now and then, which sounded very English.
This
So-
season is definitely about mixing people from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Because if you look at all the Rangers, they're all from different backgrounds. I mean, you have a high schooler, a salaryman, you have an American, you have a very huggy female, which I will not mind at all on my team, and you have the leader type who does a gay ass samba. Anyway, I think the whole thing is that this season is about merging different team people, and it's more about the team dynamic, which is something I like in Sentai. Return
Yeah.
to that basic team dynamic. But I mean, if you want to get a white guy speaking Japanese, just look for someone who's like biracial. I mean, there are plenty of biracial Japanese people.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
look for one
the
of
thing
those.
is, though, that I didn't really mind. I mean, if he's got an accent or if his Japanese isn't perfect, that's all not, that doesn't matter. I mean, in most cases, I probably won't even hear it, and if I do, it doesn't really matter. But the thing was that I think he didn't know Japanese at all, which made it so detached from the acting of his body, It didn't seem to connect at all.
But mind you, I do find Ramirez to be interesting, all things considered.
Yeah, it was, he was a nice concept, he just wasn't carried out that well.
And the fact that the man looks like Brian Bloody Blessed is quite intriguing. No, seriously, he does. He looks like
Who is
Brian
that?
Bloody Blessed.
You know what I even think is worse? What I actually do think they should do was that as a comedy thing or a thing to show more of the unity between the team, he should have had a morpher and he should have just spoken English, and then his morpher would just translate and be like, okay, he can't speak our language, but we still have that team dynamic, that unity through our powers, through our friendship and all
Yeah.
that crap.
He
It
didn't
would
have
have
a
been
morpher, actually.
I know, he morphed through his spirit powers. Ooh, I'm a shaman king. I can use my spirit powers. No. Don't mess with Shaman King. I feel like stabbing you.
Well, they already have a king. No, but seriously,
Well, we all like the kings, darling. And the queens. Oh, God, the queens.
Hot
and
queens.
the biggest queen of all, Simon.
Oh, my Oh my God, I would be perfect in a Sentai thing.
You would. You'd be like the sarcastic type, but I think you get killed first. They'd like leave you behind because you are not like happy in friendship.
Yeah, I'd get killed, and then I'd probably come back with a fucking vengeance.
As a spirit ranger.
No.
Just as a very angry, pissed off spirit.
The Spirit Rangers sucked. I'm not even gonna start ranting about them.
By the way, didn't you kind of feel like he was like a Robert Baratheon from Game of Thrones with a hammer of his and his
Don't
fatness
reference Game of Thrones.
and his
Dude.
beard?
Dude.
Game of Thrones ever. The line. You will not compare this piece of crap to Game of Thrones, all right?
Well,
Okay,
he did-
the
but,
fact that
you
he's
know,
just
think of it,
ranted right there.
think about it. He
I
was
feel like
like chubby.
Ah!
He had this beard and he had a hammer.
He is not Robert Baratheon. You know who he is?
Really? You're
Robert.
basing
The
it
thing,
off of the hammer? Really?
Robert
Hammer.
Baratheon.
He had a
Robert,
big war hammer, Robert Baratheon.
Can
One
someone smack him over the head?
one, Robert Baratheon actually had friends. 2, he could speak a language correctly. 3, he was a king. I don't think this guy was king of crap except for the eating contest. 4,
Well, you just said that he is a bit like Shaman King.
no, I was saying that I was using that as a joke to reference like he uses specific like powers within certain items. Because Shinto mythology in Japan, they believe that every single item can be possessed by a spirit, and disturbing the item or not treating it with respect awakens the spirit. So I said sort of like Shaman King, how he uses the power from the battery directly instead of putting it inside of something to channel the energy.
Or maybe they just couldn't make another weapon prop.
They could have just reused it, in my opinion. I mean, just reuse it, repaint it. That's what they did for Magus and Ghost Ager.
I did like, by the way, that they actually used, like, when he changed into the Kyoryu Cyan, you actually, his belly first expanded and then flopped back a bit to make him somewhat skinnier. That was hilarious. That just made fun of it all.
You know, it will be cool if they actually get him to do like a fucking Uncle Iroh thing from Avatar. Anyone else know
Uncle
what I'm talking
Iroh is a
about here?
badass.
Yeah, he is.
Don't compare Uncle Iroh to this fat idiot.
I can't.
I will be glad if he just doesn't show up anymore, aside from some kind of. If there's more Spirit Rangers that they just team up sometime, that would be fine as long as he doesn't have like a whole episode dedicated to him again.
Yeah.
You know what I think they actually should have done for Miraz?
Yeah.
He does not have to be a fat. You're a spirit. You can fit inside a bottle if he wanted you to. All he had to do was come here, say, I'm giving you my powers, and he doesn't even have to be there in person. He could be like, I'm summoning a construct of my spirit or some crap like that, and then it could be a completely different suit actor. That way they wouldn't have to use money and filming to show him henshin. He could just be standing there and the guy could just appear in front of him.
Well, to be fair, I think that money is not really an issue there.
Good point.
Yeah, true. Saban, take notes.
I don't think they'll listen to this podcast. If they do, that would be the first thing they've done since the beginning of Megaforce actually screams that they have logic left in their heads.
Yeah.
Well, what I did like though was the finisher that they used. I was kind of thinking like, because they also have this gun arm. I was thinking like, wouldn't it be awesome if he like used the hammer to punch one of those enemies up in the sky and then shoot him?
That would have been pretty
To
interesting.
use the hammer as a baseball bat.
Shurikenger!
And then shoot him.
Yes. Baseball bat, then shoot.
Yeah, it seems perfect.
Twice. Oh my god! Hammer crossed with a shotgun. How awesome would that be?
It would be useless.
A
Oh,
hammer
sorry.
crossed with a shotgun?
Okay, no, better idea. Hammer crossed with rocket launcher.
No, the recoil
That
would be
seems
too
like
much.
an enhanced version of the Power Axe from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh, that would be epic. That axe, I would want that axe, because that axe would be killer.
Yeah, it would be killer.
But
It
yeah,
would
all in
be
all,
kinda
I did enjoy the episodes, although Ramirez was a bit of a
Fat ass.
Ponce.
well, that wasn't really the issue. I just thought that his poor Japanese was a bit in the way, his poor acting.
Nevertheless, he's an interesting character, and hopefully he'll develop into something cooler.
Wait,
No, he
isn't
won't.
like done now?
No, he won't. Should I tell you why? This is another issue I have with Megaforce. Megaforce, I know this is off topic, but Kyoryuja, they bring in a crappy character, and they're not going to bring him back. Megaforce, what they do is that they bring in characters who are more gifted than the actors they actually have on the show. We fall in love with them, and they're like, nope, they're one-offs. Leave. And we're like, we love you so much.
Yeah, good point. Okay, we're gonna go back on topic now. cue the moment of shock for the audience. Yes, we're going back on topic. In three, in two. Oh, fuck it. Fine. Yeah, we're
Assuming
gonna
we
go
had a
back on topic
topic.
now to the mediocrity that is the Mega Force.
Well, we already did Megaforce.
I don't know. I was going by the compensation part.
Well, yeah, we basically did discuss the episode of Megaforce.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
with Megaforce, we had like a week hiatus now.
Power
Just like our
Rangers,
show, so
Megaforce.
we are
oh,
very
by the way,
topical that way. But the next
what do you
episode is
guys
supposed to
say
be where Robo Knight is introduced. Does anyone actually know whether he's actually a robot or, he actually has a
Uh,
demorphed version?
He's got an actor playing him. That's all I know.
Saban failed. That's all I'm saying. Saban failed.
If they're gonna
Say
do,
more.
They introduced Jordan, and I'm like, Jordan is a great actor, great character development that they showed us within one episode. And I'm like, bring Jordan back. He doesn't even have to be like in the suit. He could be like some sort of he could be like some sort of robot or android thing, like be in the command center with some sort of like suit or something, controlling it with his mind or something. It'd be like Jordan
Yeah.
is back. And we love Jordan. They should have seen the fan response that they got from Jordan. I mean, we all loved him.
he was actually pretty cool.
Exactly.
Matt hated him with a vengeance.
Because he loves all crappy things in Megaforce, like Emma singing. Anyway,
Of course.
all the other characters that they've introduced so far, I love them so much. Like the teacher, Mr. Burley, and the bullies. It's like Bulk and Skull version 2. I was like so happy. I was like, yes! And then it's like, no, they're not Bulk and Skull. I'm like,
The only thing I hated was that they made someone else Ernie. I mean, I know the original actor died, but they should have just called him, I don't know, Jim or something, and
Did he?
said, yeah. They made like a new guy, and he's like, I'm not sure where he's from. He seems like,
he's
uh,
Arabian. He's
yeah,
from the
something like
Middle
that.
East. He's
But
from the.
that doesn't even matter. It's just that it's not Ernie. Just say that Ernie has like a big brand of Ernie bars now, and
All they had to
this
do
is
was
just
say.
an employee, or
All they had to do is be Ernie's son runs a store.
yeah, or
Wow.
just have him have let this be like the branch manager or the local manager of this Ernie bar. Just not don't call him Ernie. He's not Ernie.
To be fair, the name is the same.
To be fair, I want to stab this Ernie because he is not like the original Ernie. The original Ernie was a chill guy. He was a responsible adult. He knew what to do. I mean, he was a responsible adult, and that's something I loved about him. It's like he's the one adult in Angel Grove who's not an idiot. If anyone has seen History of Power Rangers by Linkara, they'll understand what I mean. Like, come on, there's a baby carriage going through the whole park. Only God knows how fast that thing's going, and all the kids are doing like ninja tricks to chase it, which probably take more time to actually run after it. And then Bulk and Skull actually doing a responsible thing, and the adults are just screaming and running like idiots. It's like there's a baby carriage. Do something. This baby could die.
Yeah, God forbid the logic applied.
Yeah.
God forbid another
Anyway.
empty. God forbid another empty building in Angel Grove blowing up.
Yeah.
That was actually good about Go Busters though. In like the first episode, they actually saved the building.
Really?
Yeah, they cut like the bottom half of the building was cut by I think the enemy, and then the Megazord actually, stopped it from falling over.
I'm now going to go back and rewatch that. Just
Yeah, but the whole thing was that I actually saw a meme, and this is so true. They're meant to save the city. They actually destroy more of the city than the monster.
Yeah, but that goes for most heroes. It's like the city where the hero is in is usually like the worst city to live in ever because of the amount of destruction that's going on.
It's like, how do these people? What kind of insurance do these people have? Like superhero insurance? We'll just give you a new house. You know how broke you are. We know how bad this
Yeah,
is.
but the thing is, I mean, it's good that you've got a hero saving you from these villains, but in the end of the day, it seems like it's still a better idea to move out of that entire city.
You wouldn't bloody stay there, knowing the fact that evil is going to come down, shit's going to go down,
Yep.
houses are going to get destroyed, people are going to die.
Why don't
On
those
a-
people move out? It's not even the hero's fault. Maybe the villains want something in that particular city. The people should move out. Like
Yeah,
I
it's just
understand.
that because I mean the monsters usually come before the heroes can destroy it. So there's also going to be some damage before the monster is destroyed. So move out, move somewhere else, move to Europe. I don't know.
I understand the business owners not moving because the business, I mean, you have a business, maybe you spent 30, 40 years, or maybe it's like a family business. You don't want to change the location because that location means something to you. But move your house.
Yeah, or I can see that you get a lot of tourists because they're like, "Oh, we're gonna see these heroes," but in the end of the day, you don't want to live there, especially not in a flat or what do you call it, apartment building, because they all go down.
Did you actually just hesitate on what an apartment was?
Yeah, it's called different in Dutch.
It's an
Wow.
this is an all Euro podcast. Just reminding everyone, all Euro.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh, to anyone who is American of our viewers, yeah, we don't care.
Yeah, we're on the cool side of the
Yeah,
water.
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we trump the awesomeness that is Matt.
Oh,
Come
We
on,
shed
bitches.
him. No, he's just. We
I'm
wanted
so
him
gonna
to be
die.
here. We actually waited for him, but he's not
he's
here
on.
today.
No, he's on. I see him. He's active. He's just not, and he hasn't been on what's it called. He hasn't been timed out yet.
No,
So he's
I don't know.
definitely.
Maybe I don't know what's going on, but he's not here today. We're sorry about that.
Anyway, the
Sorry for his
stone,
fans.
the stone sugar bunnies that is Matthew. That's probably not the best way to describe him, but fuck it. Okay, I gotta ask, what do you guys want to see about? Okay, you know the Gokaiger, how it's obviously getting adapted.
Yeah.
Okay, what would you guys want to see that? How would you want to see it getting done?
Can you rephrase the question, please? I'm trying to understand what you asked.
All right, sorry, I'll try and slow my speed down a bit because, well, it's pretty obvious how fucking fast I talk.
No, it's not that I don't understand. I just want you to rephrase it so that I'm
Oh, right.
answering the right question.
Oh, the actual fucking question itself. Oh, right. Okay, now. Okay. What thing? Like, how would you guys want to see the Gokaiger PR adaptation of it? Blah, 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 blah. How would you want to see the PR adaptation of Gokaiger get done? Story wise, characters, power wise, etc., etc.
Well, I'm not sure yet how it goes. I mean, in the end, we already know that it's going to be power-ups. So yeah, I don't know. The thing is that it's hard to figure out how a pirate theme is gonna work in that season. Um,
Pirates
so
are too violent for children.
yeah, definitely. No, but
And
the
yet we
thing
have
is,
Pirates of the Caribbean.
I
but
I know.
yeah, I think in the end of the day, something like the evil forces winning, either these evil forces or whatever is going to be in Super Mega Force. I mean, I don't know if they carry on the same enemies. Anyway, them winning, and then the Power Ranger becomes sort of like a resistance force or a rebellion or something like that. And that way, I think it really fits well with the pirate theme. That would be really cool.
It's definitely not gonna be that way because
No.
I saw the Ghost Age suits with the Zangiak Gomin and Sugomin. I've actually seen there were plenty of pictures released of them fighting,
Yeah. Yeah, but
and
still, I mean, that could be, from a underground
yeah,
movement as well, still. But, I don't think they're going to do that, but that would be really cool if they actually lost and are fighting back from,
yeah.
the rubble.
Yeah, and to answer Simon's question, what I actually stated this before, they should have done Ghost Age as a way to fulfill the movie requirements. It doesn't even have to be a 2 hour movie. You could compress the first two arcs of Ghost Age with the Yumaju and the Warsaw into an hour and 30 minutes. It's not that hard. Introduce the characters, introduce their powers, give them their Zords, beat up the villain, and then have Vrak or Brajira or Bredoran or whatever the hell his name is. He changes every 2 days. Have him be the guy who lives on. I mean, it's not that hard. You get what's his face to fight. You could even do it in Ghost Age Order. You don't even have to change the story. Except these are high schoolers or these are people who are like employed to like. It doesn't even have to be an angel thing. It'd be like what I actually intended with that. It was people who like went a near death experience and they were given a second chance to live life. It's like Yu Yu Hakusho. Have you guys seen Yu Yu Hakusho?
Yes.
That is what I was thinking they should do. It's like it's not an angel thing, but similar. It's like you guys are helping people, and you could still you leave the whole angel like motif there,
Yeah, it's like, okay,
and
you
then you'd
guys have
fulfill
got
the
another
movie
chance
requirement
at
instead of
life.
giving us exactly. And you don't have to give us that crappy Christmas and Halloween stuff because you actually are giving us quality you're giving us quality movies with new characters, so you have to develop them. And then Gokaiger would have been the main show. That way, they wouldn't have to had skip a season because, in quotes, they would have skipped Ghost Ager. They would have just given it a movie, and then it's like MMAR. That was a miniseries. Instead of a miniseries, have a movie, and then Gokaiger can be the actual anniversary series. It can be like, yes, the thing that was made for anniversaries is the actual anniversary series, because all we have now is the non-anniversary season is one with the anniversary footage, and we're like, why are we watching this piece of crap season in which the guest actors are better than the main ones? Like, why are we watching it? I'm serious. All of the guest actors have wowed me. Even that fat kid in Who's Crying Now, I preferred him. I mean, his accent, he wasn't that good at hiding his accent, but I preferred him to almost all 5 of the main cast members, except for maybe Noah. Because, I'm trying not to get into my individual rants about the characters, but I mean,
I'll go
Jake,
for it.
Jake is always Gia, 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 Gia. How can I get Gia? It's like, he doesn't even have a logical thought process. Where his brain is, there's a picture of Gia. But, yeah, I'm serious. Like, he doesn't even think of his own life or the safety of the people. He's like, we're in a cockpit. I'm going to start flirting with Gia. I'm like, you have the world to save. I think Gia would like you if you were a responsible guy. And Gia's just being she's being a bitch at the most random times. Like, for once, turn it off. It's cute that you're sassy, but you do it way too much. Although sometimes it was very comedic, in which she did the whole turn the music down and thank you thing. That was actually very funny. And then
But we need a reason for ass shots.
and then Troy, you're too stoic. You're too emotionless. What I want you to do, I want you. See, have you guys seen Watchmen?
Yes.
Like Mr. Manhattan. Mr. Manhattan wasn't emotionless. He was just very stoic. I mean, he had emotions. He just didn't display them as openly as everyone else. And that's what Troy should have gone for. I mean, Andrew Gray is doing a great job by far. I mean, he's an amazing actor. He's gifted from what you can see. But I want to see more. I want to see that there's more to Troy than this stoic guy with this crappy past. I want to see more. Noah is the one character I actually don't have problems with because he got amazing character development. What was it, second or third episode?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was amazing. I mean, he coped with a problem that no other Rangers actually had to cope with. And I was wondering, I mean, other than Billy, and I was expecting, like, yeah, they're not going to touch on this, but they touched on that insecurity, like Noah not being as physically adept, even though he has bigger arms than Jake. He's not as physically adept as the other Rangers, and it was something that would hinder him in battle. And although I found it sort of weird how in the end he's like, yeah, let me lift this heavy axe, which I could not lift 10 minutes ago, and run through the streets. It's like, that just made no sense to me.
Well, but didn't he change the axe to make it lighter, which was why Jake was actually thrown off by the whole thing?
Yeah, but other than that, I loved Noah. Emma. Emma.
You don't need to say any more than that.
No, I need to say more because Matt loves Emma, and I think one of the reasons why Matt loves Emma is because Emma reminds him of his girlfriend. I think we all know that one person who reminds us of Emma. You know, tree hugger, person who cares about the environment. And they just threw in the BMX biker for no reason. It made no sense to me. I'm like, what are you doing being a BMX biker when you're a tree hugger? But anyway, Emma, I actually do like her character. Because she seems to be a character with a cause to fight for, and I like to see that. Like to see how that cause shapes her as a person. The issue is that we're not seeing any of that. So what we have is a random girl who's Princess Shayla's daughter singing a meaningless song. Like, have you guys seen that episodes of Wild Force? Like, seriously.
Yeah, I hated Wild Force for stuff like that.
Princess Shayla would sing for 15 minutes, and I'm like, I did not come here to watch High School Musical version 2. I did not come
especially because her singing was annoying as well.
And it's like, we all knew Merrick was just there just to get that ass. We all knew Merrick just wanted to do her. That's the only reason he sat there playing that flute. Because, I mean, Merrick is a total badass. I mean, he goes into pool bars and is like, I'm the badass. He goes to biker bars and beats everyone up. And he had this whole, like, wolf thing going on. And then he comes, he's like, because I want to do you, I want to do your bad singing. And I'll play the flute so I don't have to hear your crappy singing. That's his secret. That's how he doesn't get annoyed, because he plays the flute so he doesn't have to hear her sing. He's too busy concentrating.
I can't hear a fucking thing.
Exactly.
With Zanaki right now on a set for his branding.
So anyway, Emma, I actually do like Emma's character. They just aren't doing enough with her, and they're not doing enough with all the characters. So what ends up happening is that we get like a great character basis. I mean, all these characters at the core are amazing. The issue is that they're not making them amazing.
Yeah,
You
I
know what I
mean,
mean?
Mhm.
honestly, you do have very interesting setup of characters. You've got the geek, you've got the nature chick, you've got the sassy miss thing, you've got the new kid in town who becomes thrust into an extraordinary circumstance, and you've got the jock kind of guy. And the fact of the matter is that you have these archetypes, and yet you're not going to build on that or to avert them, subvert them, or in any sort of
Thank
way.
you. Thank you so
And
much.
me personally, I love it when characters have a bit of baggage to them and a bit of weight because
Thank you.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't mind the whole happy yay thing, but for the most part, I am a very cynical person. I and seriously, seeing, it would be awesome to see like the characters go for a bit more to learn about their families. Do some of them have, are their parents divorced? Are they,
Yes, thank you. I think that's what
or
happened to Troy. I think his parents are divorced.
yeah, it's like okay, are their parents divorced? Are any of the characters struggling with their sexuality, or are they getting bullied a lot? Are they getting abused, picked on, demeaned? All these teenage things that happen to people, because high
Exactly.
school, it is, everyone changes in high school, and physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever, we all go through that. And the fact of the matter is that they're not digging into that where it
Thank
could
you.
definitely reach a much bigger target audience and,
Thank you.
appeal to the masses a bit more. And it's like, okay, dude, you're wasting an opportunity here to show a bit more. And I did love the fact that was it Jake? Is that the guy? You
Who's
know,
J-
Jake is black.
yeah, yeah. Um, oh, shit, what the hell? What the hell is that guy's name? Guy who everybody loves.
Troy,
Not him, not
Noah,
him.
Noah,
No, the guest guy. I can't.
Jordan, Jordan.
Jordan, thank you. It began with a J. I mean, I actually loved him. I thought he was freaking. It was like, okay, you actually have a guy who's interesting. Thank you. Integrate him into the main cast,
He's
even
a
as like a.
he's a one-off.
I know, but still, I mean, to to have good characters and to not do anything with them, it's the worst possible thing you can ever do. Oh my god, I'm actually speaking at a normal speed. I've just realized that. Fucking hell.
All right. Anyway, I agree with what Simon said wholeheartedly. I'm not asking for soap opera or Degrassi by any means. I just want characters that mesh well. It's like no one is a particular archetype in high school, especially. These people are trying to figure out themselves, and there should be a time for the cast to figure out who they are. For children to understand that when they grow up, they're gonna have a time in which they need to figure out who they are, what they're gonna be. This is for teenagers to connect with and be like, I understand what you're going through. I mean, Noah and Jake, they're not. They from what I've seen in a normal high school setting,
That's
they would be teasing each other. Only the only exception would be if they were childhood friends, which is what I assume to believe that they were friends since childhood. Before one got into academics and one got into sports, they were childhood friends. Same
yeah,
with Gia and Emma, because I see Gia as like the cheerleader type at the top of the pyramid, focused on the way she looks, more on what her friendship is. Emma's the more substance girl, the one who's more willing to give herself up for something else, get her hands dirty. And
yeah.
then from what I'm seeing, it's like no conflict. It's like, oh yeah, Gia and Emma only fight when they're put under a spell. No, real teenagers fight. They should have a reason to fight. They are different, and we should see that. And we should see that. That's what makes them a good team. That's what makes them a good team. The fact that they're different and they can still work together, which was something I loved about MMPR and Zio and Turbo. Like in MMPR, I mean, we had Trini. We did not know that much about Trini, but we knew Trini was a genius because she was the only one other than Billy who was able to understand what Billy said. So she played a very vital role, even though she had minimal lines and minimal role. She played the role of helping the other characters understand Billy. She was a bridge, and that's the way I see Trini. through Trying God Rest Your Soul, I view her as a very important and integral character because without her, Billy would have not been able to effectively communicate with the other team members until he was able to raise his confidence. And
Mhm.
those sort of things. Zach is the black guy. The old dance swag guy.
Yeah.
And he had his issues with the team. Even Justin in Turbo, he had this issue like, should I use my powers for personal gain? I'm being bullied. My mom doesn't live with me. I don't know my mom. These kids are bullying me and talking about my mom who might be deceased or who might be a crackhead.
Hmm.
That sort of thing. That was very real, and I connected with that episode. If you know the episode of Turbo I am referencing,
I
I
do.
I connected with that in a new level. It's like,
Wait,
wow,
your mother's a
just
crack addict?
no, fuck you. No. What I mean is that I understand. Like, I connected with Justin. Like, I understand. Like, he was feeling emotions that no one should have to go through, but it's common that people go through these. And he had to question, who am I? Am I a person without my mother? Like, all those things. It's just something in Megaforce that we're not seeing. And considering this is a high school setting, and we have kids being bullied, we have another Balkan Skull opportunity. Your one-offs are better than your main characters. There is a problem.
Hmm.
Your one-offs are better. Dennis, so what are you thinking? Simon and I have had our respective rants. It's your turn.
Yeah, well, the thing is though that I think that you do say like the whole saying it's for kids doesn't really work most of the times, but in this case, I think when you talk about high school, that doesn't really you can't touch those themes really for 7-year-olds. I mean, they don't understand what the hell's going on.
Oh, they understand. Trust me. I actually last week I went to. Was it?
Wait,
Yeah,
have
last
you
week.
seen 7-year-olds nowadays?
Yeah, like last week Friday. All right, I was actually at a friend of my uncle's, a former business associate of his. His children were 7. Well, his children were 10 and 11. They were talking about Macklemore. Thrift shop. They were saying all these funny things. They were talking about sex in detail that I cannot even begin to
But that's
elaborate on.
10 and 11. That's already quite a bit older.
10 and 11, 7 and 8. If 10 and 11-year-olds know sex in the detail that they were explaining it to me, and they know curse words and everything, I think 7 and 8-year-olds can understand the concept of relationship. While they don't understand the emotional side, they understand emotions and the basic ideas of it. You know what I mean? They
Yeah, yeah,
understand.
but they don't understand, how it goes in high school.
They don't.
Oh.
They don't need to understand. They've watched High School Musical. They've seen a bunch of people break out into song. I think they have enough idea of how high school is.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just think that maybe, you would appeal to a different audience than they are currently appealing to if you go that way, as you two were describing.
Yeah. But
Saban, all you have to do is make a new toku and target it towards teenagers and adults.
That
It'll
would
make it
work
so much
actually.
easier.
That's something I would like was a somewhat more. I mean, there is a few out there, but a toku for a somewhat more and with a somewhat more mature theme.
or better yet, get me on the script writing team. Promote this, ladies and gentlemen. Get
They're
me
not.
Yeah,
on that team.
Simon for president and stuff.
They're not
What
gonna
about?
put you there for two reasons. One, let me tell you, every good writer that's been on PR leaves, and then it's like Jude Lin. Jude Lin, he was the one responsible for Time Force and RPM, which were easily the best seasons in terms of drama. And and
Eddie.
and this is why, Dennis, I can't agree with you on what you said that 7 and 8-year-olds. Time Force. I mean, there were plenty of 7 and 8-year-olds who understood the romance and the issue that Jen had in between choosing Alex and choosing Wes. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward concept. I mean, I
Yeah,
was
there it
married
was.
to this guy. I thought he was deceased. I fell in love with his ancestor, but I don't. But he's alive. So what do I do? It's a pretty straightforward concept. Sorry. So my whole point is that Time Force and RPM, they were handled by Judd Lin, who was one of the best writers that ever happened to PR. And because of him, the show was able to blossom in new ways. He was the one who said, let's take risks with the script, let's make this more dark. Let's see what we can do with the season. And that excelled, which is why I believe Power Rangers is on this eternal cycle. Because what happens is that it's about to get shut down, shut down, shut down, shut down. Then they say, you know what? Here, good producer. Here, great writers. Take the season. And then the great writers, they do a great job with the show. This happened with In Space, Time
Yeah.
Force, and RPM. And they're like,
Like-
great writers. Take the season. The season gets great ratings and everything, revives the franchise. Then, crappy writers, crappy writers, crappy writers, crappy writers. It's at the bottom again. Here, great writers. Take it again. Great ratings. All right, revive. Crappy writers, crappy writers, crappy writers. It's gonna happen over and over until they realize, let's just put our good writers there.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think that a main issue with that is that when when one of those great writer seasons happen, that's basically when they decide like, well, we're gonna stop with it, so doesn't matter anymore, and then everyone in the show is like, well, since we're going out anyway, let's go out with a bang. So we take some risks, and then it turns out that taking those risks usually results in a season that's much more appealing. And then it's like, oh, actually, you can get ratings with this, so let's start again. So exactly like you say, but I think it is mainly in the fact that they dare take risks when they already know that they're gonna stop.
I think the whole thing is that it's not even a matter of that. The matter is all the crappy writers. I mean, Kalish produced some of the crappiest seasons ever, which is why I'm sitting down and rewriting Jungle Fury.
Hmm.
And I'm not gonna advertise my crappy fan fiction.
Well,
Yeah,
you
but
you
anyway,
can totally. It doesn't matter.
yeah, but I'm not gonna advertise it anyway. But my whole point behind it is simply, we should sit down and we should see that Kalish was not the best producer. Every single time the show gets revived, we have a string of crappy seasons and then a good season because they're like, let's throw this out, and then they say you can do whatever you want with the show because we're about to give it up, and then someone else buys it because they see that this thing is good. It's not because the show still has value. The show always had value. The show always had great demographic. The issue is that you writers just don't want to let good writers and producers handle it because you
Yeah.
guys are afraid of something. You guys are afraid. Oh my gosh, children are not gonna like it. Soccer moms are gonna screw the soccer moms.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I'm saying. They're like, when it's already said that we're gonna quit. It's like, well, then it doesn't matter anymore what we do, so we don't have to care about the moms anymore and about the kids not liking it. We can just do what we want, and then when they do what they want, it's a good show. I think it's
So,
I think it's more in that that they just don't care. They don't have to care anymore about all the restrictions that they are facing. So then they just go with the good season, because in the end you don't have to be afraid anymore. But anyway,
yeah,
we're running towards an hour, so let's wrap it up. You can yeah, yeah. Like I said, we're running towards an hour, so we're gonna stop here. Um, what would like to say is something we forgot last time. Actually, is do subscribe to our Facebook and Twitter accounts, and YouTube. Obviously, subscribe, rate, and comment, all that junk. You can find us on Ranger Vision and Ranger Crew and Ranger Talk. You can't find us on Ranger Board because,
it
well,
sucks.
yeah, they suck. Basically, what happened was we were trying to post it there. For the advertisements, you need a certain VIP level, and for the media section, you need 200 posts, neither of which we have. So
So
screw
it
them,
was
we're
like,
not gonna be there.
yeah, shit.
No.
But you can find us on everywhere else: Twitter, Tumblr. So yeah, just watching this description below, you can find us. We will put down there where you can find us, and you can also find the guests for today. Obviously, Simon and myself, but our guest of today, the big one, is
Timmy.
yeah,
Oh, hang on, before we...
Thunder.
Dude, can you please say Timmy in the Timmy from South Park way just once? I apologize immensely. And I know you...
Timmy!
Yes!
Yeah, anyway, you guys can, as Dennis has said, we're all over the media, please find us. The link should be in the description. I mean, I'm on Twitter at Kazuto Ross. I mean, the rest of the links will be in the description, so please follow so you can get updates and tell us ideas. We want to improve. We want to hear what you liked, what you didn't like. Please help us. We want to become a better podcast for you guys, because this is for you guys, not for us.
Oh, and if anyone's trying to find me, don't even try looking for me on anything at all. Instead, keep a very healthy distance away from me. And if I happen to bump into you on the street and you recognize my voice, then approach me with all fear and respect, and buy me coffee and cheesecake.
Yes. So yeah, see you again next week, we hope. And again with a new guest. By the way, which you can sign up for. Please do. We like our guests.
Do we?
Well, I do. I don't know
Screw
about
you.
you, but to be fair, I
Screw
don't
you.
think you really like anyone.
Screw you.
Oh, yay, I am Greg House. I don't like people. Oh! Anyway, But yeah,
So
guys and
yeah,
girls,
see you guys next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
howdy bye, bitches.